I was deep into the drugs, and I started getting in a lot of trouble. When I got out of prison, I met her, Dion. A couple years down the road, I had my 2 boys, my family, my boys and Dion, and we went to Pueblo. We were on our way back, and we hit, and we flipped end over end. I felt around, I grabbed Dominic, and I took him out, and I went back in, and I got Donovan out, and I went back in to try to get her out. And then there was a point where she just had grabbed a hold of my arm for me to stop trying until the life went out of her arm. I got so back heavy into the meth, and I got pulled over. I had drugs in the vehicle. I was looking at prison time. I ended up getting 8 years community correction sentence. While I was going through this program, this woman shows up. Her name was Celeste. She's innocent to this lifestyle that I've lived all of my life, and I'm going to do what I got to do to fix it. If I was going to change, I had to change everything. Celeste, she had started going to Red Rocks Church. She had been meeting with this pastor. So I met with him and I talked to him. One of the things he told me, he said, I want you to pray for the DA. I want you to pray for the police officers that arrested you. I want you to pray for the judges. I want you to pray for these people. And it was hard for me to do that, to actually sit down and genuinely say, please bless these people's lives. And through that, I think it also made me look at the whole situation different. It made me really look at my life and realize that I put myself in that position and they were only doing their job.
He called me maybe the next day. I swear he said every single thing. He was like, I realized I've been doing this, and he named them all off, and I was in complete shock.
I knew that there was something else, something more out there. I was working on my own. I heard this commercial on the radio, and it was that Dan Merrill flipped this house. We were looking for a handful of investors in the Denver area, and I went to this 2-hour workshop, and I learned so much in that 2 hours, and all of these light bulbs started going off. But they were also trying to sell something, and they were trying to sell another course, and I bought into it, and it was for a 3-day event, and it was, I don't know, $300 or $400. The event came, and I missed it. A few months down the road, it came back, and I got an email, and I'm like, I'm going to follow through with this event, and I went. It gave me all of the information that I needed to start my business. But I met somebody in there that already had some properties, and through that, I had built a relationship with her, and she was like, hey, if you find something, let's partner up. You can rehab it all, I'll put up the money. And that's when I got into my first project. So I knew at that point that I had some financial backing. That just started the whole ball rolling. Once I did one, I knew that I could repeat the process. So I went back to my hometown where I could pick up these properties dirt cheap, and I could rehab them. And then this guy came to me and asked me if I could build storage. And I took this on, and I knew through the middle of it, I was like, what am I doing? I had my doubts. I wasn't sure. I had all kinds of people calling me, and everybody wanted these storage buildings built. So I started taking these projects out of state, and I realized that I could make a lot of money doing that. I had some ups and downs too, and some of it, fairly recently, because it was a point where I had, I think, maybe 21, 22 rentals. We had bought a restaurant, and the restaurant was doing very well. And then I started investing all this money into oil. So over the course of about 8 months, I had put $1.3 million into this oil industry. One day, I got a phone call from the FBI and said that everything was seized, and it was a Ponzi scheme. I put $1.3 million into it, and I lost it all. And our restaurant caught on fire. But through that, I didn't go back to what I knew. I didn't go back to doing drugs. I didn't go back to selling drugs, and I didn't go back to any kind of an old lifestyle. I had Celeste by my side. to tell me she was my biggest supporter through all of it, and she helped me just navigate through all of that. And I think it helped our relationship grow stronger, just because we had to endure so many things. But being able to endure this major loss in our lives and pull through that, because it's only material things. We had lost it all before when we were doing bad stuff, and now we've lost it all trying to do the right thing, and we're going to be able to rebuild it back. So over the last few years, the storage industry has boomed, and I've built a really good reputation. And she's been with me on all of these jobs. She's been my partner, my biggest supporter through all of it. And we've built this amazing lifestyle for ourselves where we can do what we want to do. And in the last few years, we've been able to, go to all of these different events. And, now we're traveling all over the world.
We have a great marriage. One that if you would have told me 10 years ago or ever that I would ever have a marriage like this, I didn't think it was ever possible.
But she's became my best friend and my partner. We do everything together. We're almost inseparable. And we have to spend a couple days apart. It's like horrible. Recently, I've been invited in to come and share my story in prisons, and I've really felt that to be on my heart to go help other individuals that have struggled with the same thing, that have walked through the same darkness, that don't have hope, that don't know that there is a whole nother life out there that they can create for themselves. So I feel like it's been put on my heart to go and help these people rewrite their story, and it's just opened up so many opportunities. I've been able to go out and share my story on other stages, to speak at other events and share how I've came from homelessness, of lost drug addiction, to become a successful businessman, and now being able to help others find their way through life, create businesses, and create the life they want by changing the story, changing the mindset, stepping out of that victim role and owning who you are and not letting it define who you are now. That is the past, what you did and what you've become now, and you can become anything you want. Dear 13-year-old me, I know you are scared. I know it feels like no one sees you, and you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. You have been through so much already, and you're still just a kid. Mom and Dad's divorce really shook your world. One day the life you knew suddenly changed. Your home was ripped apart. I know that you have found drugs to help numb the pain, not because you are weak, but you are desperate for peace, for something to fill the emptiness inside you. I'm not here to shame you for that. I understand now. I know you are just trying to survive. What I need you to know is the road ahead doesn't get easier for a long time. You are going to stumble. You will fall hard. You will get back up and fall again. By the time you are an adult, you will be in full-blown addiction. And you will be in jails, in treatment centers, in prison. And you will end up in prison and lose everything several times over. You will lose people you love. You will lose pieces of yourself. You will walk alone through the darkest time of your life, and drugs will consume you for a while. But I promise you, it doesn't end there. Somewhere along the line, through all the pain, you will rise. You will stop running. You will stop hiding behind your anger and addiction, and you will start owning your story. This is where your story will change. You will come from homelessness, rise up out of addiction. You will build million-dollar businesses from nothing. You will turn that pain and grit into power and purpose. You will become the man you never thought you could be. You will mentor others who carry the same darkness you once did. You will give them a reason to believe in themselves because you finally believe in yourself. You will become a good father. You will be a good husband. You will receive love from Celeste you never knew existed. You will come to create an amazing life with a partner and a best friend by your side. You will heal all the wounds from childhood. You will have peace with Mom and Dad. So long, little man, and never forget there is greatness in you. I know it. I've seen it. I am it. You are the reason I made it this far. Love, Damon.